Hey everyone, Wireless Productions here. We just finished installing our Saylor Beall air compressor. If you guys saw from the last video, this is a horizontal 120 gallon. Part number is 745-120-1. It's a 7.5 horsepower compressor motor that's powered by a single phase electric motor here. We wired the magnetic starter here to our disconnect box up on the wall, and we use the on-off switch on the disconnect box to basically turn on the air compressor. I didn't realize how that's what it was. That's how it's supposed to be, but that's what Saylor Beall told me. Works fine. I'm just glad that I was able to wire it correctly. Shout out to all those YouTube videos that I watch before trying to attempt to do something like this, because I'm not a certified electrician or anything, but it's not rocket science. It's basically just two hot conduits and then a ground, so it's not rocket science. But I still respect electricity enough to know that it is lethal if you handle it wrong. So just wanted to be careful on that. But thank you to all the garage journal forums posts that I also read that gave me some pointers of how to do it correctly. But yeah, it's running well now. Like I said before in our previous video, I put the air compressor within our shelving unit. I disassembled one of these units that we have, the shelving units. I don't know if you can see back here, that we had in the corner, and reassembled it to enclose the air compressor itself. That way it'll give me like a good foundation if I wanted to use more paneling. I have some extra paneling here if I wanted to enclose it. The compressor is loud. It's not deafening, but it is loud. More likely than not, though, we'll be wearing earplugs or ear protection when we are turning the air compressor on. I mean, we wear earplugs for when we grind metal and cut tubing and all that anyways. So but I'll turn on the compressor itself to show you guys, to see how loud it is. Like I said, it is loud, but it isn't deafening, and it's something I can probably tolerate. But I'm sure there's more videos out there to show how to quiet it down, but I'll show you that right now. If you guys have headphones while watching this video, I would just take them off or lower the volume, just to give you a fair warning. That burst of air you heard was me plugging in the auto drain feature here on the lower corner. That's loud, and actually kind of surprised me the first time it discharged. I unplugged it again from the wall. I didn't want it to mess up the video and just be annoying. So, but that's how it sounds like. It's there to minimize the rust that will happen from the condensate that happens in the tank. What I am going to do, though, is I did plan to get like a copper array and cool down the compressed hot air that gets compressed from the motor, but I'm not even going to dick around with that anymore, because the reason being is the air is going to, if the air goes into a after cooler type of deal, it's always going to be ambient air temperature anyways. It's not going to be 100% or it's always going to have moisture in it. When you do a copper deal like it is on a lot of people's garages and stuff, they do like a copper array where it is supposed to, you know, cool down the air so it'll capture all the moisture. I'm not even going to dick around with that. I'm just going to go straight into a refrigerated air dryer, and that's another reason why this shelving unit is going to be handy. The air dryer I'm going to install at a later time is going to be up here, and it's going to be bolted down. I need to bolt down the shelving unit itself with concrete anchors. I haven't done that yet, but I will shortly. Like I said, a refrigerated air dryer is going to be bolted up here, and it's going to drain down into the bucket. That's why we have it here, and that's where all the moisture from the tank is going to be routed into it as well. There's just a little bucket here so we can dump it easily. But yeah, a refrigerated air dryer for this size air compressor is around $1,500, so I gotta save up for that. But it'll be installed. Like I said, I'm not gonna even go any other route. The refrigerated air dryer will just drop the temperature to much cooler than ambient air temperature, and it'll just dry the air even more so. That's how most like labs and stuff that need super dry air, that's how they do it anyways. There's no other way around it. But just want to give a shout out to Wire and Cable Your Way. They're the guys that hooked us up with the cable that we use, the conduit or the conductors that we use to power the air compressor. We used here some 6-gauge stranded copper cable. It's pretty fat for the black and red, and then also some number 10 ground wire. They also were able to provide us with some SOOW wire that I bought from them, and I used it to make an extension cord for our welder. I used a 6-50P plug and a 6-50R receptacle. These things I bought from Home Depot, but the cable itself came from www.wireandcableyourway.com. I'll add a link on the video to show you their website. But they get pretty good prices, and I'm quite surprised. This particular cable here, it's made in USA, so I'm really happy about that. It's not, you can see they're made in USA. And then another tip is I used a laser just to measure all the conduit that we have on the ceiling. I used a laser to measure that. That way we got an accurate length for our conductors that we used. I mean, we have a couple of feet here, but I'll just probably make a extension cord out of that. So also what I have here is another disconnect box. Just forgot to mention that the reason we have 2 disconnect boxes is, and you guys will probably hate me for this, but I was able to pick these up, this disconnect box and this other disconnect box that we have on the wall, for, I kid you not, $20 for both of them. They're brand new, and we picked them up at a mall, of all places, because the store that was closing down at the time was just trying to get rid of everything. And these were both in these boxes. And when I researched the part number to this GE box, which is also made in USA, super happy about, this disconnect box is like $300. So I was like, wow, got super lucky on that and saved a bunch of money. But yeah, there goes our Saylor Beall install. Hopefully it gives you guys some ideas. If you want a really good air compressor, one of the best is Saylor Beall. Can't go wrong with it. Hopefully this is going to be a good investment for our company, and we'll be able to, use it for plasma cutting and air cutting or grinding or whatever. and fill up some tires. So there you go. Alright guys, we're Wireless Productions. See you guys at the track. Later.